Hey y'all, it's your girl Sonia. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a little bit of craft with me, so stay tuned to see what we're getting into.
Merry Christmas.
Okay guys, so what we have here is a my glue gun won't stay up, but what we are going to be making is a candy cane, the little candy cane from the dollar store, and it's just a candy cane form, and we're going to be wrapping it with ribbon. So I have 2 spools of ribbon here. I actually brought a third spool, but I unwind it from the spool. So here it is here. And usually when I would make these, I would use the actual candy cane print. But because everybody seems to do the candy cane print, I wanted to try a different print. So I actually got the poinsettia print. So this is the one that I unwind from the spool because I didn't want to have to deal with all of this. But you will need roughly 1.5 of these. And here's the print, if you couldn't see it. You're going to need about 1.5 of these. They're 2.5 inches by 1.5 inches. And so it's going to end up being about 5 yards of ribbon that you're going to need. So we'll need the one that I unwinded plus about half of this one. You're also going to need a pair of scissors. You're going to need a glue gun. And y'all don't judge me. My glue stick is silver print. I'll show y'all silver glitter. This is what my glue stick looks like. But it seems that every store that I went to did not have any clear glue sticks because everybody seems to be doing some crafting or whatnot for Christmas. So there was no clear. So I had to get the next best thing, which was the silver glitter. But you won't be able to see it anyway. It's fine. And usually when I would make these, I would put this big, pretty bow like just right here with like floral picks and all kinds of other things. But I didn't get a chance to get to Hobby Lobby like I wanted to get the other ribbons that I wanted to make the bow. So since I was at the Dollar Tree, I figured I'd pick up some of these little small ornaments, and they match the ribbon. So I'm gonna see what I can do with these. And I also picked up this little it was kind of a floral pick, and it had acorns on it, and it had a little bit of holly on it. So maybe, I don't know, maybe I can do something with either that or with the balls. I'm not quite sure yet, but that's pretty much all you're gonna need. The glue gun, the scissors, the form, the candy cane form, and the ribbon. Those are the main things that you're gonna need. Any other decorative piece is optional. You can even do this and you don't have to have a decorative piece on there. It's totally up to you. I know people that make these and they just leave them plain. So, you know, like I said, it's optional, whatever you want to put on your candy cane. So first, I'm gonna flip my form over, and I usually start it like this. I don't know if my camera is letting me be great, but I start it like this, and I leave about 1 inch at the bottom so that you could fold it over. So what I do when I start these, and y'all bear in mind, I have not made one of these in years. So I'm still like, I'm coming back to my old self with this because I don't know how this is gonna come out because it's been a long time since I made one. So I just want to make sure my ribbon is not caught on anything down here. So okay, we're gonna start here, and I usually leave about 1 inch on each side. I guess that's about 1 inch anyway, so that I can fold it over. So, and at the bottom as well, because I like to pull it up to cover the actual form. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna just put a little bit of glue, and be careful because this glue, of course, is hot. And my glue gun don't want to work right now, but it's gonna be all right. There we go. So we put a little bit of glue just on the form, just so we can make it stick. And we're gonna fold it over on the bottom. Just be careful. I'm used to hot stuff, so it burns, but it don't burn for long. And then I come over and I fold it this way, but I also glue it here too, because I don't want it to unravel. So I glue a little bit on the form and a little on the ribbon, and I fold it over. Yeah, it's a little warm, y'all, don't judge me. And you have to deal with the strings too if you get it on your fingers. So try not to get it on your fingers, y'all. All right. So basically that's how you're gonna start it. Then when you flip it, it's gonna look something like this. It'll look something, well, yeah, there we go. It'll look something like that. And then what you're gonna wanna do is just start to wind it. Now I left a little bit open at the bottom so that I can come back and do a different type of closure because I don't like the wire to open up. Or not the wire. I don't like the wire to show, but I don't like the ribbon to open up. So I just start to wind it. See, usually I'm gonna fold this in like this, so it'll be completely neat. Once I'm finished with it, I'll go back and finish the rest of it. But anyhow, I just start to wind it. If I can keep the ribbon from tangling up here. Maybe I should have left it on the spool, y'all. But again, I haven't made one of these in years, so I have to relearn how to do this. And you just want to keep winding it. And basically you want to go at an angle, kind of like that. It's kind of like a little step. I'm gonna move this over here because I feel like I'm gonna drop my glue gun on me. And y'all, the worst part about this is your ribbon like tangling up on you. That's probably the worst part you're gonna have to think about, is that. So you just want to keep wrapping. And after a couple of wraps, what I do to secure the ribbon is I come back with my glue and I glue a little bit on the form. Let me move this ribbon so you can actually see it. I glue a little bit on the form here, and I glue a little bit on the ribbon that's above it or below it, however you want to look at it. And I just glue that down so that it stays. We don't have an issue. And then we keep wrapping. And this is a pretty easy project. You know, once you get a little bit of practice with the wrapping, sometimes it takes a while for some people to grasp it, but it's really not that hard once you get it going. And usually I would wind the cane versus doing the ribbon, but because I have it off of the spool, it's easier for me to just wrap the ribbon. Come up here once more. And we're going to do our glue. And you don't have to use a lot of glue, y'all, just enough to secure it to the base. Again, try not to burn your fingers because this hot glue, it doesn't burn for long, but it burns for that second. So we're at the end of this spool of ribbon. So basically what I'm going to do, you can see here where that 2.5 yards of ribbon have run out. So I'm at the end of this one. So basically all I'm going to do is take my glue and I'm just going to glue it right on top of the next piece of ribbon. And then if there's any left over, you can like just glue it here on the form if it'll reach. And mine reaches just a little bit, so we're gonna put a little bit of glue here. And we're gonna just glue it to the form there. So you have a nice clean edge right there. And then when we start back, we'll start back over that piece right there. So let's get our next ribbon open. And unfold it. Now this one I'm not going to take off the spool only because we're almost at the end. We only have the curve left, so I'm not going to undo it because I don't want to have to ravel it back. So on this part, I'm going to start here. I'm going to come the back side where that part was open right here where we ran out of ribbon and we had to attach it to the form. So I'm going to come to the back part in hopes that that don't roll off my table. And we're going to start about halfway up. So we'll come here, but we'll glue it to attach it to the next piece, okay? So, or actually, I may not glue it. Let's just see how this goes. Finger got caught, of course. Just move my scissors over here. So we have the room to do what we need to do. And once you get to the middle, it's gonna buckle because you're at that curve. So that's going to probably be your biggest issue, but you can cover that right up. You shouldn't have any problems at all with that. Smooth that before we make a mess. This is the reason why I don't like to leave it on the spool because it ravels so bad, y'all. Okay. We did our glue right there to keep that in place on this corner. Well, y'all, I think we will need to complete spools of this yarn. I didn't think we would, but I still don't think we're going to. I think we're going to be having a little bit left over. But we'll see. This ribbon is giving me the blues, y'all. Okay, so we're at the end, and as you can see here, we have that opening that I wanted to have on the end, which is about 1 inch. So we're gonna cut it off here. That was not the most perfect cut, but you know, I ain't perfect. So we're just gonna glue this here. Ooh, that was hot. See what I say, y'all? Try not to burn yourself, because that was warm. Now, with this end, that's still hot, y'all. That should be dry by now. Let's see. Okay. Okay, you guys, so we are finished wrapping. We are left with this opening, which we now have to close. So what I like to do is tuck it down a little bit and just fold it over. If I can see if I can get this lined up a little bit more. I like to fold it over as if I'm going to wrap a present, and then I just glue it. This little piece right here just won't let me be great, y'all. I like to just glue it right onto itself right here. So that it stays in place. Y'all, don't be smart like me and use your fingers. Use your scissors and just press it down like this, okay? Don't be playing with the glue, because you're gonna burn the crap out yourself. And there you have it. It's still hot, but you know. And now it's closed. You can see now that it is now closed. And we have a finished edge, okay? And so over here on the opposite end, I'm gonna just come in. Let me see if y'all can see that. I'm gonna just come in and I'm gonna pull this part out a little bit. And I'm just gonna put some glue in here. And I'm just gonna give this a more finished edge like the opposite end. So now we have a clean finished end on this one. And you're all done. This is what it's going to look like, y'all. Super cute. Kind of fast. Once you get your ribbon in order, it will be kind of fast for you. But this is what it's going to look like. So you can leave it finished like this if you would like to. Usually, as I said in the beginning, I like to put like a big pretty bow like right here. But I wanted to kind of try something different to see how it would look. So we're gonna open our little ornaments here. Let's see. Actually, that's kind of glittery. I have some, well, let's see how this looks. Just do like a cluster of the balls, because the person that wanted me to do this didn't want to do ribbons too. That's the other reason why I didn't use ribbons. So I think I have some glittery. Let's see if I have enough. Y'all, I got a whole box of ornaments next to me. So let's see if I have enough of the gold glitter balls to do this. If I can find what I need, y'all, I might be all right. I don't have a lot of the gold glitter ones, but let's put these matte colored ones back and see if we can get these little, y'all might need some pliers for this. Or you can just be country like me and rip it off with your hand or pull it off with some scissors. Whichever one floats your boat. Let's see if we can get this to look okay. I don't know if I even like this, to be honest. Y'all, I don't know if these balls are going to work for me, but you know what? We're going to glue them on there anyway. And just see how we can get them to look. Alright. I don't know how this is going to turn out, y'all, but we're going to see if I even like this. Because if not, I'll probably just rip it off later. But we'll see. This one act like it don't want to stay. I don't know if I like that, y'all. But we tried something different. And if we try it and we don't like it, then we do it different the next time. Let's see. Okay guys, my video had stopped recording and I did not realize it. So I went ahead and got 2 more of the balls on here. You can see it a little bit better there. I'm gonna go ahead and see see if we can get another one on here. And get it to stick. Okay, and then I'm gonna come back. I know I didn't like the matte balls at first, but I'm going to just try it and see if we can just get a different contrast to the colors. Put that a little high. That was hot, y'all. I just wiped it off and it was definitely hot. Don't try that at home. Reckon I better get another glue stick. Let's see if we can get a couple more on the top half of it. And maybe it won't look so bad. It doesn't really look bad now. However, I probably should have mixed the colors up, but that's okay because I didn't intend on using this color anyhow. But it's okay. See if we can get a full cluster on here to make it look kind of even. It actually doesn't look that bad now that I'm looking at it. It's not terrible. It's not the bow that I would have used, but it's not that bad actually. It's a good option for people that don't like bows, like the person that asked me to do this. They don't like bows because I guess they feel like it's kind of girly or what have you, so they don't care for bows. So that's why they asked me to not do one with a bow. So this can be a good option for somebody that wants to change it up, or for somebody like her that don't like bows. have these cute little acorns. I wonder how one would look on here. No, I don't like that either. All right, let's do like one more. I think I put the glue in the wrong spot on this one. This one I ain't want to stick. Let's take the glue off of here and start this one over. It's probably the position I had it in, pretty sure. Yeah, that's better. I think that doesn't look too bad. It's definitely a different option. I know I've said 100 times, let's use just one more, but I promise this is the last one we're gonna use. I hate these little strings, they're so annoying. It doesn't look that bad. Let's turn on my light so maybe we can see a little better. I don't know if you guys can see that or if it just clouded my light, but let's turn that light down because that is really bright. All right, but anyway, there you guys go. That's how it's looking with the balls. And again, you can do this with a bow, or you can do this with a little ornament, a different type of little ornament. Maybe if you had a poinsettia of some sort, any type of little ornament embellishment would go fine on one of these. But this is the final product, you guys. I hope you guys liked my craft with me, even though I haven't crafted in a very long time. I hope you guys did enjoy this. Again, if you have not subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button and join us over here. We have tons of fun, and thank you for joining me. I'll see you guys in my next video.